So hook this. We are going to go live for the James Duckett execution. It's going to happen at 12 o'clock, which is almost 12 o'clock in Florida. I'm having to come live just a little bit early. I am trying to link this StreamYard. I'm trying to link over with worldswave.com. They now have live streaming. I just need to find my streaming key so I can add it to hopefully get this going on both StreamYard and World's Wave for today. But my goal is to always use World's Wave as my new streaming product instead of paying what I'm paying over here for this for StreamYard. So as I work through this morning, and we have our execution watch for the first person today, which is James Duckett. If there's some interruptions, I'm sorry. Y'all just please be patient with me while we get this linked up. I think that World's Wave is the best product this came out. I'll tell you, the thing about World's Wave is you're not censored. They're not over here telling you you can't use real words. It's a great new platform that I've found, and I think everybody needs to give it a try. They are the official sponsor of this channel, just to let y'all know that. So anyway, let me pull up James Duckett while I wait on getting my stream key that I need. I'm waiting for information from them. But anyway, let me just let me pull this up over here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just kind of like, ooh, having some nervousness here because I'm like, no, I want this to work right now. But anyway, here we go. So let me pull up James Duckett himself, and we can get to talking about him. Now, James Duckett's story, no, I don't want to leave the site. Stop that. All right, I'm putting it over here. James Duckett is an incredible story. He is 65 years old. He has been on death row for many years. It's one of those again. Now, he is not what I consider a wheelchair or a nursing home execution because he is not feeble like that. He does not have the same level of problems that Mr. Ochoni has, that is 80 years old, that is set for execution tonight at 6 p.m. So let me pull this up so we can get started talking about it and be ready. I mean, I know that he has filed, oh my gosh, he has filed his last appeals. He's done everything he can. I got a message from the state of Florida this morning because I'm on their website, and they let me know every time a person is set for execution, etc. Because I like to keep up with these, and I like to tell people what's going on so that people know about this. I mean, there's no reason why people sit on death row for 35, 45, 50 years. Please, why is this happening? So anyway, let me get this over here pulled back up. And let me split my screen so I can show you that too. I need to split it one more time. Y'all just bear with me for just a second. I'm gonna have to have 3 screens going here today. So bear with me for a second. Split the screen into 3. Come on now. Okay, well, I'll have to come back to that. So let's talk about James Duckett. 11-year-old Teresa McAvee was walking to a convenience store near her home. Witnesses later testified that she spoke with Officer Duckett. This is a police officer. Now, when we talk about police officers and children, what do we teach them? Oh, it's a police officer. He's there to serve and protect you. He's there to protect you. That's not what happened in this case. In this case, Mr. Duckett, the police officer, took advantage of the fact that he knew children would listen to him because he was a police officer. And that's exactly what he has done. Now, after this case, there were other cases that came out. And in my mind, I always thought, nah, she's not the only one. He's just the only one he got caught taking the life of. I'm sure there were other children that he has abused and basically gotten rid of. So let's talk about him once more. I also need to give our fair use disclosure. So let me pull that up real quick so we can get that done because we are going to show a few videos. Okay, so let me pull this up. I'm a little nervous because I had wanted to start my live stream over on World's Wave, but if I don't have that stream key and I'm not sure where to find it yet, I can't do that. So I put a message out to these guys so they can get me a stream key. So anyway, get this going. Okay, and I think I just got it. Let me pull this up. All right, and let me see if I can get this World's Wave. Hang on a minute. I don't see it yet. Is Colton answering me? Hang on a second, guys. I think so. Okay, so I'm fixing to get an answer from a guy named Mr. Ryan Roman. He also works with World's Wade. He's one of their important people. But let's talk about James Duckett for a second. All right. I put the message out. Okay, so fair use. This broadcast contains commentary, criticism, news reporting, and educational discussions regarding publicly available information. Any images, video clips, audio, or other copyrighted materials are used and included under the principles of fair use as provided in Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976. All rights remain with their respective copyright owners. This content is transformed through analysis, opinion, and commentary and is not intended to replace or compete with the original works. Okay, so there is our fair use disclosure. Now let's get on back over here. I'm going to be checking. Let me check one more and see if they've given me the stream key yet. Let's see if he's going to answer me. He should answer me. Let me see if I can reply to him. Oh, nope. Come on, go back over here. Well, okay. All right. Well, I don't have the information yet, but that's okay. We'll just keep going. I put a message out to the people who can help me get the stream key so we can get this added and get going. Anyway, James Duckett. Now, he's a police officer, and he knew that children would listen to him, and he used that to his advantage. So 11-year-old Teresa was walking to the store. Officer Duckett was outside the store. Now, multiple people reported seeing Teresa get into Duckett's patrol car. This is the last time this child was seen alive. I need to calm down and relax. Just a little bit upset about my live stream key. Anyway, so she was seen getting into Duckett's patrol car. By the next morning, Teresa's body was found at Night Lake. She had been sexually assaulted, strangled, and drowned. Now, the community was horrified. The idea that a police officer, someone entrusted with safety, could be involved made this case explode, and it should have. The evidence was built. Investigators quickly focused on Duckett. The case was entirely circumstantial, but prosecutors argued it formed a tight circle around him. Now, key points included a pubic hair found on the victim that examiners said matched Duckett. Now, let me explain something to you. Back in 1987, when this happened, the hair analysis was considered junk science, but it's not considered junk science today. So just remember that. Let me do one other little thing and get this pulled up over here so we can, okay, turn this down. All right, guys, let's get going over here. I'm sorry. I hate that this happened this way because I really wanted to just go straight to World's Wave to load this up and get going, but that's okay. We will work through it. Now, let me go to my channel over here. Hang on a second, guys. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm just all kinds of a mess, aren't I? I'm just all kinds of a mess today. You know, I get nervous. It just really bothers me. I can't, you know, add a little attention deficit on top of that. And Jesus, you got a mess going on over here. But anyway, so let's go on over here and we'll get started on it. I don't even see my own. Okay, it's got the wrong person. What the hell is going on here? Okay, let me fix this. I think the wrong title. Okay, I see what happened here. All right. While I wait on getting this other key, I need to make a change really quick, and I don't know if I can do that. Let me see if I can change it while it is going on. I don't think I can. This is so irritating because we're really talking about James Duckett. We're not talking about Arkansas getting it wrong. So it was just a little error that's happened over here, and I'm trying to take care of it right this minute. Let me go to my content and see if we can change the title because I think it's tripping people up. All right, hang on a second. Oh my God. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Sadly, I'm going to restart this stream. Let's take it off and we're going to restart it, okay? Because I need to make sure the title matches and I don't like what's happening right now. So let's go change this. We're going to make a change. I'll be right back. Y'all bear with me. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Cancel. Get rid of that. All right, here we go. Let me end the stream and we're going to start back over because it has the wrong title. I don't know if I can. Oh, I think I can fix it from here. Oh, here we go. All right, no, I don't have to start over. Here we go. We can stay on this. So let's see. Okay. Let's fix the title so people are not confused of what's going on here today. I did not even notice that it had the wrong. Girl, I have just had a week, y'all. Okay. And wanting to change, wanting to change to this other system. I'm so excited about it. And change this thumbnail to something else. How about just a little red car? Let's just put the red car on there. Okay, because you got to have a thumbnail if it won't done. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't want the thumbnail to be wrong either. So here we go. We'll just add that right there. There's our thumbnail. It's right there. Apply. All right, here we go. Save changes. Okay, I think now we'll be straightened out. It'll have the right name on it. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Well, wait a minute. Hang on. Uh-oh, it's not going to accept the picture. Oh, my God, help me, please. Oh, let's see. All right. I'm just having a, anyway. So this was a police officer that took the life of this little girl in 1987. So it's a very important case. Now I want y'all to think about today is 2026, right? Why in the world have we been trying to execute this man since he was actually found guilty of this particular crime? You tell me why in the world we are taking this long to execute somebody. Well, they have had time and time again, he has had opportunities to have DNA tested, etc. So in all of this time, let me see if I can find this one picture right here. I need to get this straight so we can move on with our, oh my God, I'm just a nervous wreck now. I just can't stand it. When things like this happen, it just really affects me badly. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not realize it had the wrong name on it before I got started. So let me find his picture and we'll get this on up here and get going. I am so sorry. I can't just leave it blank because it will put up the other person's name. So we can't do that. That's why I have to put something in the thumbnail area as we go. Oh my God. Come on. Here we go. Complete fiasco here. I mean, I don't know what I would do if anything ever just went right. I don't know what I would do. All right, it's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. So let's see. We've got to find anything we can put there. I just need a thumbnail of some sort. Just a thumbnail. It doesn't matter what it is, other than it can't say from Arkansas, right? So here we go. Let's pick this right here. Okay. Okay. Thumbnail. It's a missing person. Okay. Let's see if I can find something that'll fit there. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, I don't know. Good God Almighty. Okay, well, we just won't have a change. We just won't have a thumbnail. It's okay. Here we go. We'll use this one. Maybe this will fit. Apply. Okay, hey there, Cinderella. So good to see you. I'm having a little bit of issue trying to change the name here because I noticed it had the wrong dang name. I was like, no, let's fix. I had to fix both of them. I was like, no, but anyway, let me get this fixed. It's trying to put the wrong thumbnail on there. I don't guess that matters because we are live. I can always change that later. So let's go, let's go. Anyway, how you doing today, Cinderella? So good to see you. So today is a strange day because we have both. Okay, good. We have both. We have two executions happening today. Now, as I stated in the beginning of this, my intent was to stream this from World's Way. But I cannot do that because I do not have a stream key. And I need to have this stream key. Let's see what he says right here. Okay. Okay, let's see. And until they give me the stream key, I can't add it. Let me see if they can add it over here. Let's see. Nope, he's not giving me a stream key. So there you go. All right, we'll just keep going. So Mr. Duckett over here was a police officer, and he took the life of this little girl. So this happened way back when. I'm so sorry, Cinderella, bear with me. I'm a nervous wreck right now because I don't have what I need to make this work right. And then anyway, and I'm just a little, I need to calm down. Anyway, let me get this information pulled up and we'll get this going. Okay. Now, Mr. Duckett filed some paperwork on Friday or late Thursday afternoon and Friday to try to get himself a stay. But that's not what's happening here. His stay was denied and he will be executed, and he probably already has been executed, to be honest with you, because it is now 11:08. His time of execution was 12 noon in Florida. Now, I also need to pull up X to find out what time has he been pronounced dead, and then we're going to start talking about his case and what he did and why he was executed today. So y'all just let me get this pulled up over here and get my information. So his name is James Aaron Duckett. He was scheduled for execution today at 12 noon in the Florida State Prison. I don't need that, dude. Come on. Just let me, okay. So let me go over and pull up what is going on today over here. We're going to search for James Duckett because, you know, the funny thing about this is I've noticed that, okay, on X we seem to get the time of death quicker than, oh, thank you, Cinderella. I love you. I'm glad you're so patient with me. Thank you so much. You know my struggles. You've been with me for a while now, but y'all know. Anyway, so we do not have the time of death yet. We do know they were starting at 12. Now, let me go back over here on that one, and here we go. So they were going to do lethal injection. He is 68 years old. Now, this is from the 1987 kidnapping, rape, and murder of 11-year-old Teresa McGavey. Now, the stay was lifted. What? Florida Supreme Court lifted the stay on July the 8th of 2026 after a DNA testing returned inconclusive results. He is the one that waited. Remember, we did a live on him the other day. And the thing about James Duckett is he had this DNA sitting here for years and years and years. Now they offered to retest this to see if he could be found innocent, but he never asked for it over and over and over until we get right down here to the very end. And now he asked for the DNA to be tested. When they did the DNA testing, which was part of his final appeal, his attorneys argued modern DNA testing would prove he's innocent. Now, the FDLE and the independent lab results were inconclusive, neither confirming nor excluding him as a contributor to the DNA found. So the Florida Supreme Court has denied his habeas petition and affirmed denial of the fifth successive post-conviction motion. The lifted was stay for his execution, and here we are. Today is the day. Now, I'm going to be checking on X to see if we have a time of death yet, because X seems to have it quicker than anybody else. If you're in the bushes, come on in. I'd like to hear your thoughts on these men sitting on death row from 1987. Hey there, good to see you. Did they carry out the execution? Yes, they did. I'm looking for the time of death right now. Thank you for coming in. We're always happy to see new faces. Hey, and y'all, please do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, and share this out. We are growing our watch hours right now because we just really need to. But anyway, that's what we have to do. But okay, so I'm looking on X to see if they have announced it yet. Now, they used to, when they had these executions previously, it was a big deal. You know, they would have all these news conferences and things all through the day that this is going to happen. But now it's become commonplace and people aren't even shocked by executions anymore. It's like, okay, well, there's another one today, right? But it's amazing how people look at it. Myself, I don't understand somebody sitting on death row for 30, 40 years. Why is this happening? Why is this allowed to happen? Why in the world? And here's the other question. Did they do a competency test on Mr. Duckett to make sure he knows why he's being executed? Because as we know, they've done some 73-year-olds, 74-year-olds. Tonight they're going to do an 80-year-old, Mr. O'Shoney. Now he's 80 years old. He has dementia. When you are having to lift the man out of the wheelchair and onto the gurney, don't you think there's a problem there? Now, I'm not saying he's not guilty of what he did, but, you know, they still need to make sure that what they're doing is humane. And I mean, it is the death penalty after all, but what they need to make sure it's humane. So really, okay, James Duckett has asked the U.S. Supreme Court for a stay. Now, we know that happened, but he was denied. So let me see if there's the latest on James Duckett, see if they've announced the time of death yet. Uh-oh, posts aren't loading right now. What? Jesus, now X is going to act out. Oh my God. Okay, well, let me see if I can pull it a different way. But because we will not see a news conference about this until much later. They don't just come on and go ahead and announce it like they used to. That's what I was saying a while ago, because it's just commonplace now. It happens every day. People are, you know, they're not concerned. Okay, the hour of James Duckett's execution has arrived. Mary Mother, now this is coming from the Catholic Mobilizing Network. Now, every execution they go to and they sit there all day, and the Catholic Mobilizing Network tries to stop these executions. It's part of their their plan because they are Catholic and they don't believe in this, right? So they did a prayer. And then this is over on X, and this guy said, Chris Hager says, of course, James Duckett appealed to the 11th Circuit denial to the U.S. Supreme Court. This appeal is awaiting his reply brief now, but this was from 27 minutes ago. Really, 27 minutes ago, this guy posted this. But we know that this appeal was denied. And then we have over here that was 20 hours ago. So I'm waiting on the latest to see if they've actually pronounced a time of death yet. So it is noon, and James Duckett still has multiple appeals pending before the U.S. Supreme Court. It seems his executioner may be delayed. Because I read over the weekend that they had all been denied. So let me take another look. James Aaron Duckett and Dominic Anthony Oconee are both scheduled to be executed today, and that is why we're having 2 live shows on Execution Watch. We're going to come back for Oconee later this afternoon. Let's see. Flora is going to carry out this rare double execution today. Live updates. Let me see if I can go to Tallahassee and see if they have. No, I'm not going to see if they have a time or anything yet. So now this is according to the Tallahassee Democrats. So just bear with me as we go here. So we know they're going to carry this out today. James 68, a former Muscogee police officer, is scheduled for execution. We know that. You know, can you imagine the mother waiting all these years, 1987 to 2026, for this man to see his day of death? All because at the last minute last time, he asked his DNA to be tested, and the Supreme Court said, okay, yeah, we're going to allow you to test it. But then they tested it, of course, it was inconclusive. It did nothing for him. So, yeah, it's, to me, it is ridiculous how long it takes. Really, it is. Live updates. So let's see. I'm trying to get over here and see if we have a time of death yet. Because last time they did that, it was literally 11 minutes. It only took 11 minutes to take this man's life. But, you know, we know it happens fast, but I really just want his time of death. I knew they were going to go through with this. I knew they were, because all appeals have been denied. This was, I get these emails from the Florida court system to let me know when these things are going to happen. And that's how I keep up with all of this. So let me see if we have a time of death yet. The one I'm upset about the most is Mr. Oconee tonight. He's 80 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, time should have already passed to the point that he should just be allowed to just die in prison. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get why. All right, here we go. 1 hour ago, scheduled by lethal injection. 23 minutes ago. Okay, 2 hours ago. I'm trying to find a live stream where they actually are going to announce his time of death. Okay. Alarm as Florida rushes to carry out incredibly rare 2 executions in one day. That is incredibly rare. They don't normally do that. We've got all kinds of action networks that had tried to stop this from happening. I'm looking at all that. They had the DNA test done. Okay. Oh boy. I don't know why. Let me go back on X and see if I can find this. Okay, no, go away. Okay, cancel. Go away. Let me go back over here. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, now let's see. Let's see if they've got anything. Anything has came up yet. Okay. 15 minutes ago. There's something that was put out 15 minutes ago. Hang on, guys. I know. Let me pull it up over here. I wish I could. Is this X? Oh, it is X. I think I can share my screen and show this to you guys. Hang on just a second, guys. Hang on. Where's my little button to share the screen? Okay. Here we go. Yeah. I've got 3 things open over here, and it's kind of hard to see them all. So let's share the screen, and we will look at what's going on with James Duckett. Okay, here we go. Now, this is going to be X. This is X right here, and pull it up over here and make it bigger so you can all see it. While they talk about this is from the Washington Post that they're talking about this rare double. I'm calling it a homicide, but it's not a homicide. You know, he actually is getting what he was sentenced to right here. I just don't understand why it takes so long, and I think people need to Something needs to be done about this. There is no reason for people to sit there 35, 40 years on death row. I find it incredibly wrong. It's just wrong all the way around. It just is. No, I'm not gonna subscribe to you. Thank you. No, thank you. All right. Just trying to make me sign in. I'm not gonna do that. All right. Let's keep looking. James Duckett. Let me see if there's anything else that's come up. Hang on a minute. I know they're gonna do it, guys. I know they're gonna do it. I know they've already started doing it. Okay, Florida. Let's see. Okay, they've not announced the time of death yet. Okay, so we'll leave it right there and we'll just watch while I watch to see if anybody has a time yet. And this is kind of upsetting over here, but we will work out the kinks with World's Wave. So while we wait for a time of death on James Dockett, let's talk about World's Wave for just a minute, guys. Now, World's Wave is the official sponsor of this channel. What World's Wave is another, it's kind of like, I agree with you. It's wrong to wait 40 years. Thank you, Leslie. It is completely wrong to wait 40 years. And listen, okay, we'll skip World's Way for a minute. Here's another thing that happens in these cases that people don't think about. The victims of these cases and their families, because every time there's an appeal filed, they are notified. Every time something changes within this case, they are notified. So every time they are notified, they are reliving what happened to their family member again. So it's an over and over and over for 40 years, 35 years, these people, these precious families of the victims are reliving the nightmare every single time. This is not fair. It is not fair to the families. And I think something needs to change about this. Something has got to change. What are we going to do? I don't live in Florida. I live in Texas. So there's not a lot I can do about it. But the one thing I can say about it is somebody needs to figure out a way to do this. Well, we're not over here waiting for 40, 50 years for somebody to get their sentence. It's just completely wrong. So let me see if there's anything else that's come out yet. Let's see. That was 18 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. The reason why I'm looking on X is because on X we seem to find out things faster than we do find it on than the regular news stations. I don't know how, but X is pretty quick. So let's see. News radio. Florida plans. Oh, a lot of things are popping up right now. Here's where the appeals stand. Okay, it's popping up faster than I can look at it. How about that, guys? Yeah. All right, get rid of that. No, go away. I want to look. All right. Let's see. I don't know why is it staying there. Good God! And now my phone wants to act a damn fool. If it's not one thing, it's another. That's how it goes. At least we can just be okay with it. Things happen. Things just happen. So let's see if there's anything else. Now here we go with this is Orlando 35. Is James in? No, he's not innocent. James Duckett did exactly what he was found guilty of. He did it. He was a police officer. His DNA was well, okay, they're saying the last test was inconclusive, but I'm telling you, after this happened, there were other people who came out and said, Officer Duckett attempted to do that to me. And these are people that were children, 11, 12, 13 years old. And then they came out later and said, he put me in his car too, but I managed to get away. Things like that have happened. And that is incredibly telling. I mean, if he has done it to them, he will do it to somebody else. That's what we do know about these kind of crimes. No, just go away. Okay, now my phone wants to act a damn fool. I swear I can't win. Come on, X, come on out. Okay, we'll go over here and look this way. So I don't know. I just think that something needs to change, and I wish the people that lived in Florida would take this seriously and say, you know what, you're right. Why was that man allowed to sit on death row for 50 years and then 80 years old, you're ready to take his life? What in the hell is going on here? Why is this normal? Because it's been normalized. That's another problem that I find about the execution itself. Okay, that's 19 hours. Oh boy. Too much James. Okay, look at this. Too much doubt, James Duckett to be executed. No, there's not too much doubt. No. 36 minutes ago. Of course, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else. 23 minutes, 17 hours, 4 hours. I'm looking for the latest news on this guy right here. Let's see. Somebody will have it fast. Let's see the latest. No results. Okay, well, we'll just keep waiting. But I know it's already over. I mean, we know that it only takes literally 11 minutes to take these people's lives. They sit there for 40 or 50 years, and then, 8 to 11 minutes. If it goes without a problem, these people are gone. And you got to understand this as well. Sometimes it fails. We have seen many of these cases where I think 200 of them is what I believe I remember, where they have attempted to do this, but they couldn't for whatever reason. Now, what do they do in those cases? Do they come back and just do it later? Or do they change the method? Because here's the thing, one of the people that had okay, there was a period of time in Florida where they allowed the people to pick their own type of death. And so one of the guys had picked the gas chamber. Well, then they came back and they would not allow them to use the gas chamber because something about this has failed. But because he was allowed to pick his own execution method, now they have to go back and have another huge discussion on allowing him to either pick it or them assigning it. Because they had allowed him to pick it, that changed everything. And see, the thing about these guys that are on death row and women, they know that they know they're smart. They know the things they can do to get out of this, and they will do it over and over until they have nothing left to do. So until there's nothing else and it all runs out. So let's see. All right, let me go back to home. Let me see if I can find anything yet. Come on, man. All right, we're just going to have to keep looking until somebody puts it out. All right, here we go. Nope, not yet. 39 minutes ago. All right. 25 minutes ago. Well, this is the Catholic Mobilizing Network, and they're out doing their prayers. They're in front of the prison, just doing what they always do to try to stop these executions. Which this is the first. Oh, it's the first time Florida has carried out a double execution in 60 years. 60 years ago, they did double execution. Wow. 23 minutes. Let's see. Anything else? This is the governor's warrant for his death is right there. You can see that. I know, guys, I know. We know they're going to do it. It's just a matter of what time did they do it. Now, after his execution, we are going to go back and we're going to look at some of the things that happened in his case that maybe could have prevented him from sitting on death row all these years. Had they taken this DNA that they knew they had and tested it years ago, he would have already been executed. But he was smart enough to know. Let me just hold on. Let me just hold on. Because until the final DNA has been tested, they cannot say for sure that he is guilty. That is what has happened here. And it's completely wrong. It is just completely wrong. But let me see if anything else is. Let me see if I can. You know what? I'm going to go out to a Florida news station. Let me see if we can find anything at the Florida news station. Okay, Florida. Hang on, guys. James Duckett. I wish I had a line into the prison system so I could get a call and say, okay, it's done, but they're never going to do that, right? They're never going to do that. I feel better than that. Okay, let's see. Anything yet? Okay. No, I don't want that. Florida, I think it's channel 4. I think it is. Let me see. Channel 4 News. Let me see, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, I'm looking for channel 4. See, it's asking me, do you want channel 4? Yes, I want channel 4. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let me see if this is it right here. Okay, let me see all the sources right here. Hang on a minute, guys. All right. I might have some sources over here. Let's see. James Duckett, number 2. Let's go to number 2, number 6, channel 6. Channel 6. Okay, how long ago was this? Okay, okay. This is crazy. I don't understand why we don't have any information yet. I wonder if they had problems. Okay, that was still 19 hours ago, 42 minutes ago. Wow, this is wild. Usually we already know by now, but I know they did not stage his execution. I know they did not. So let's see if anybody else has anything out here. 5 hours ago. Oh boy. Let's see. 1 hour ago. Well, we knew they were out there praying. 57 minutes ago, we knew they were out there doing that. The petition challenges Florida's denial of DNA testing after consent. Well, here's something from a guy named Robert Durham, and he was talking about this denial of the testing, but they did not deny the testing. They actually did the testing. They did it, and it was inconclusive. And here is his final appeal right here. I wonder if I can pull this up. I can. All right. And look at this final appeal right here while we wait. I hate waiting, but we don't have a choice. So here we go. All right. This was filed, let's see, I believe over the weekend. James Duckett is scheduled, okay. Long maintained innocence, undermine his death sentences and or identify and all. This is when he was asking for this DNA to be tested, but it got tested already, so and it was inconclusive. So I don't even understand why he's filing anything. He has nothing left. There's nothing left that he can file. There's nothing. He has filed every single thing he can to get out of the death penalty. Everything. Mr. Attorney is a really sad case. Now that's the one that's going to happen tonight, and I am really let's see if anything else has popped up yet, guys. I know it's done. I know it is. I just need that time of death. Let me see if I can go back over here and pull it up. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I'm seeing words like he is an American citizen, not was. So let's see. Let's see. Now, let's see what happened over here. Hang on a minute. Because here's another one of his appeals, and we're going to look at this appeal after we figure out his time of death. And this appeal is his very first appeal that he did way back when, where he's trying to. And here's the thing about the appeals, and this is why I love to read the appeals. And Cinderella and Leslie keeping it real. Thank you all. They know why I like to read them, because in these appeals you see the facts of the case. It's not because in a courtroom where there were no cameras before, like these old cases, we don't really know all the facts. But when you go to the appeal and you see all the things they're appealing on, all the counts that they say were wrong, it gives you all the facts of the case and builds the timeline for you. So all you have to do is read through it and you know what happened and you can decide for yourself whether guilty or not guilty. Now we know that a jury of their peers already made that decision, but anyway, let's go on back out here in X and see if we can find anything yet. Oh boy, this is incredibly weird that we are not able to find anything yet. Come on, I just want to go to Twitter. Let's go. Yes, official site. There we go. It's a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. I'll tell you that. I am nervous. Let's see. Let's see if anything else has popped up. This is when we usually find it, is over here. So hang on. Okay. 32 minutes ago. Yeah, it's just the prayers that are showing up right now. Oh, wow, this is incredible. 30 minutes ago, Dan Sullivan made a little post about this 30 minutes ago. 31 minutes ago, the Washington Post. Let's see, 54 minutes ago from TCB, Florida carried out this double execution today. Brian Dobson, 1 hour ago. Florida double execution of ex-cop child killer. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this one has to say. Live updates. Here we go. Let's see. Florida is set to carry out. We know that. No, see, it wants me to get it. I'm not going to do that. No, come on. Okay, anything else? Let's see if there's anything down here. Oh, you want to view the gallery? Here's 10 photos of the execution chamber. Okay, y'all want to see that? Let me share the screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at here. There's some of the execution chamber. Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, share. Now, as we were speaking about this a while ago, and I remember I was telling you, in the 80-year-old and the 74-year-old and the 73-year-old, the people were in wheelchairs. So they would wheel them into the where the gurney is, right there, as you can see. And then the cops would lift them up. And in fact, this last time, our Mr. Socher, who was 73 or 74 years old, as they were lifting him onto the gurney. Some of his words were, he thanked the prison staff who had been there to help him all these years. And I thought to myself, that is incredibly sad. It's not that I feel sorry because they're getting executed. It's not that. It is the amount of time that it is taking to do these things. So these are people that have been executed this year, right here. And it's giving you the date that they were executed, right there. There's a bunch of them. I mean, it is as if Florida has went crazy executing people. Now, I don't know why. I don't understand what is the rush now. If they've been there 50 years, what's the rush now, right? It doesn't make any sense at all. So let me see if there's anything else that's popped up yet. Go to X. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. James Duckett, execution, or I'm gonna see if they have a time of death listed anywhere. Hang on. Bear with me. One moment, please. Searching. Okay, we're looking at all the news stories. Well, nothing has shown up yet at a time of death. That is incredibly crazy because it's now been 35 minutes, and it's usually by now we have the exact time of death. Okay. Alarm as Florida rushes to carry out. Yes, Florida set to carry out. We knew that. Here's his timeline from USA Today. No, I'm not going to pay for the subscriptions. Okay, when was this? This was at 9:06. Let's go back over here, pull up this one. Okay. See, there's still nothing yet. This is weird. I'm going to tell you this is weird because we usually already know. Wow. 3 hours ago. Let me see, the latest on this one is 2 hours ago. Why is nobody talking about it? What in the world is going on? 35 minutes ago. Why is nobody telling us? Case view, that's Florida Appeals Court. Attorneys for Florida. One day ago, see more results. Yeah, we don't actually have a time of death, but we do know it is happening today. They are not going to all of a sudden stop this execution. It is going to happen because 21 hours ago, they denied, here we go. This is what we need. Federal judge denies Duckett's last minute stay of execution. This is the story I want to bring, but I'm not going to pay for a dang subscription. Okay, so that was 21 hours ago. They absolutely denied. So he is getting executed. He is probably already executed. We just need to announce his time of death. Now, they did use lethal injection, so we know how long that takes. But again, we were talking about the family members and what happens to them and how they have to relive this every time something changes in these cases. And to me, that is cruel. That to me, I know that Cinderella and Leslie probably agree with me on this too. That is cruel to make the family members relive this for 35 or 40 years, all because you afford the damn defendants more luxuries than you afford the victims. By allowing them all these second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances, sixth chances to file all these different appeals to try to get their execution stopped and just get it converted into spend the rest of their life in prison. That is really their goal. When they're on death row, the goal is, hey, I don't want to be on death row, but I wouldn't take a plea offer either. So I went to court, I was given the death sentence, but I don't really want to get that. So I'm just going to fight every single time I can to try to get my sentence converted. Yeah, it's keeping the wound open. It sure is, Leslie. It does keep that wound open. And I feel bad for the families. I don't feel bad for the people being executed. I know when I talk about these, what I call nursing home executions, that people think, oh, well, she feels bad for them. That's not it. I feel bad for the fact that it took that long and that they did not do a competency hearing. Go away. They did not do a competency hearing before they did it because I feel like in the case of Mr. Chung, who's 80 years old, if he has dementia, he doesn't even know why he's there anymore. What the hell are you doing? Is it humane to go ahead and put him up on that gurney, rig him up, and then shoot him up with this lethal injection? Is that humane? Or is that cruel? Which one is it? See, this is where I get torn because I know they did the crime. I know they need to do the time. But in cases like that, there has to be, they need to do something about this. Something has to change in that realm of the death sentences, because you cannot continue, just can't continue to have people in wheelchairs go to their death. I just don't. I think it's incredibly, basically cruel. So let me see if anything else has came up. Let's see, time of death. It's searching right now. Hang on, guys. Oh, wow. The Guardian. Let's see. Rights group. Okay, now there's a rights group standing outside of the prison, as always. Groups condemning the secrecy surrounding killings and say hurry to execute raises chances of torturous deaths. Florida is preparing today to carry out the state's first double execution for the past 60 years. Okay. Now, barring last minute legal interventions, which we know there are none because his appeal was denied, that did not happen. So let's see. On April 24th, 2017, Arkansas administered lethal doses to two prisoners, Jack Jones and Marcel Williams. Now we're talking about times in history when they've done double or triple executions on the same days. Let's see, which almost sounds like people in front of a firing squad or something. I don't know. So let's see. So on April 24th of 2017, Arkansas did 2 in one day. And then 60 years ago, Florida did 2 in one day. Is there anywhere that they've done 3 in one day? Because that would be just, it's like a bloodbath, sort of. Gosh, I wish Now, in February, the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor described the secrecy around Florida's death penalty practices as intolerable. She does not agree with it. Now, both Tuesday's condemned prisoners have complications. Now, both of Tuesday's condemned prisoners have complications associated with their cases. For Tony, there is his age. This is the one that's going to be at 6 o'clock tonight that we're going to be on execution watch for. And we will start earlier on that one because there's a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to Mr. Tony. Let's see, it says, what is she saying here? In both cases, neither jury was unanimous for the death sentence. That's one problem. And there's a flurry of executions in Florida. It's just part of the turmoil that is rippling across the largely southern U.S. death penalty states. Difficulties procuring lethal injection drugs in the face of an international boycott has led to the revival of the firing squad. Now, I have not seen one person go before the firing squad. Unreliable forensic techniques. Oh, here we go. We're going to blame the technique. We're going to blame the DNA now. Now it's the DNA's fault. All right, let's go back over here. Oh my goodness. Why is it always somebody else's fault? See, it's never the killer's fault, is it? It's everybody else's fault. Oh my God. That is, to me, that's not fair. You should not be doing that. And that's another thing. That's another thing that happens to these families when you're sitting there saying, oh, well, okay, there's nothing new that's popped up yet. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. I think I found it. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Okay. Let's see. We have Michael Cook from 27 minutes ago. We have the World Wire. Okay, let's see. I just saw this. It just popped up. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find the latest. Let's go to the latest. Okay, in Florida, it is an outrage, Governor. You must take the DNA investigations further to confirm his innocence. Well, they did the DNA and it was inconclusive. Okay, now where is this? I just saw this come up. Come on now. Maybe I should put time of death and see if I can find it that way. Yeah, it's over. He has been executed, guys. I'm just going to find the official time of death and we will post it in our program. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. When I get all like a little bit nervous or whatever, my little attention deficit just goes all over the place. Of course, my friends know that. They've been with me a long time. So, okay, here we go. Wow. Yeah. I bet it didn't take more than 12 minutes. How much well, no, we're not going to take bets on that because that would just sound horrible and inhumane myself. So, all right, let's see what it says right here. I think it's right here. Okay. Chris Hager. Okay, this was 57 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, With the denial of James Duckett's appeals, his execution will likely be carried out. We continue to pray for him. All right. All right. Okay. Go over here. I know they've announced it. Let me find it, guys. I am so sorry. I don't know why it's not just popping up right there. Good Lord. Okay. See, this is when I just feel so unprepared, but I mean, I cannot get the answer if it's not being put out, which is they need to do a press conference as soon as it's over with every time. They know they're going to do it. What is the wait? Why are they waiting, right? They wait to do it and then they wait to tell you what time his time of death was. That makes no sense at all. Okay, that was 1 hour ago. I know I saw this. This was 12 minutes ago. Yes, we know that happened. Okay, 3 days, 19 hours, 13 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Yes, 3 minutes ago, they announced that they're going to continue because it was denied. Okay, now let's see. Um, Florida will carry out. James Duckett still, it's 42 minutes ago, 9 hours ago. Come on, I just saw that. I wonder if somebody took it off because they didn't have the time exactly right. Hang on. One time I put somebody's death time on there and come to find out it was 4 minutes off, but that's okay. I went back and corrected it. That's okay. Breaking. Let's see. Duckett's claims have all been denied, allowing this afternoon's execution to proceed. We know that. Let's see. Yeah, we're on docket watch here. Tracking Florida's tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Elaine Rogers says, and this is 1 hour ago, at Governor Ron DeSantis, it's really never too late to do the right thing. Save James Duckett, commute his sentence now. No, don't commute it now. He has had every opportunity to prove his innocence. They did the testing, and guess what? It was inconclusive. And I'll tell you what the problem is with the DNA. What they wanted was for the DNA to be put through. They wanted to find other family members of his to put it into one of these. What is it called? 23andMe or something like that, to find other family members to compare this to other. This is the kind of DNA testing they wanted, which is very lengthy. It takes a long time to go through that to find somebody that would be a relative of whoever's DNA that was. This is what Mr. Duckett's attorney was asking for, but that's not what they got. All they did was send it to the lab and say, hey, uh, oops, come back up here. Hey, test this. And when it came back inconclusive, that was the end of it. You cannot expect the state to take this kind of DNA and then spend all the time and money to go and do that kind of testing on it but he knew if he asked for that type of testing, this would also stop his execution for months and months while they worked on it to find some relative, some unknown relative out there that could be the perpetrator, right? But see, there is no other perpetrator. He did this. The little girl was seen in his car. Everybody saw the little girl in his car. Period. That's it. Period. So let me see. Let me see if they announced it yet. Wow. Okay, today the state of Florida, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anybody got the time? I wonder if they started late because they were waiting on something. I don't know. But I know he's been executed because somebody put a time over there, but I couldn't catch it fast enough. Let's see. A quick guide to who James Duckett is, the evidence in his death penalty case, and where his appeals stand before his scheduled execution in Florida. This was the TC Palm put that. News 4. Okay, News 4. Let's see, I just took action to urge. It's too late. It's too late. You can't just go sign the petition now. He's already been executed. We're just waiting on the time of death to come out so we can complete our day talking about him. I really wish that Governor DeSantis would not execute Mr. Ochoa. I really wish that Governor DeSantis would stop this today and for Mr. Ochoa, but we know We know. He should just be commuted to life in prison. So, Supreme Court lets rare double execution move forward. Oh, this is from the Kelsey Richmond, and this is from News Channel. She's not stating the channel's name. The justices denied a flurry of emergency applications and statutory petitions from James Aaron Duckett and Donald Anthony Achone Jr. without explanation. They were no notes to sentence. They just denied to hear them. That's really different too, because you don't normally hear that. They usually give a reason why they deny things, but they gave none. Okay. Sister Helen J. This is Helen preaching. James Duckett's execution is scheduled for noon. We know that. He maintains his innocence. We know that. Okay. Both have been on death row for nearly 40 years. So both of the executions today, nearly 40 years. That is 40 years of torment for all the victims' families. Okay, let's see. Oh, listen to this. James Duckett is probably innocent of murder, especially since he was a police officer for killing. Oh, really? He was just doing his job and has no motive for killing the deceased. Their fingerprints notwithstanding, why did Florida wait till Achone was 80? That's the question I have. So these are people putting statements out on X about this. Let's see. Florida's execution, News 2. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see if anything else is put out. I cannot believe we don't know yet. We usually know by now. It's crazy. Okay, there's people still trying to sign this document, but it's too late for that now. What? Just because you're a police officer does not mean that you are not capable of taking somebody's life. We have seen that over and over. The thing with a police officer who chooses to do these things, they think they're not going to get caught. They think they're smarter than the rest of us, and they think they're going to get away with it. But that's just not right. It's just not how it works, right? We've seen this over and over. So I'm going to see if I can refresh this and see if it comes back up. Hang on, guys. I know. I didn't think we'd be waiting this long. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, we know it was denied. Okay. Read and take action. Let's see. James Duckett born in September. Somebody's giving his whole. Let's see. Is there anything else? No. I cannot believe we don't know yet. We just don't know. What anybody got anything? I hope you don't have a lot planned today because I'm coming back at 5 o'clock to talk about Mr. Achone. It will be well. Actually, I'm going to do it 4:30 because we are an hour different from Florida versus Texas, and I'm going to come on at 4:30 this afternoon, East Central Standard Time, to start talking about Mr. Achone while we wait for his execution. I am praying that something changes, but if they did it to Mr. Duckett, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it to Mr. Achone. Okay, yeah. I can't believe nobody has a time yet. That is incredibly weird. Okay, let me go out here and look at a different. Let me go look on the. Let's look over here. Wow, this is crazy. Most of the time we already know. I'm just feeling. I don't know. I'm just feeling weird about this one. Okay, here we go. I think maybe right here. Hang on. We see time of death. That's what we want to know. Okay, guys. It's hot today in Texas. We are now started the triple digits, guys. For the next 30 days, we'll be seeing triple digits every day. And that's something I can stand. Okay, here we go. Let's see. As of midday, his official time of death has not yet been publicly certified. So yes, they did it. We are just waiting for the official time of death, guys. It has not been certified yet. So that is why we do not have this information. But I really do want this information. I knew they were going to follow through. I knew it. I knew he was not going to win any type of a stay. I'll tell you one thing, that I know that the prosecutions was very upset with him, and let me tell you the reason why. Because over the 40 years, he had ample opportunities before to try to prove his innocence with a sample of DNA. But he also knew once they tested this DNA, they would never be able to do DNA tests again because the little bit of DNA they had left to test would just be just be obliterated. They would just be nothing left. They could never do it again. So so he put it off, and put it off, and thinking that technology would get better, and then someday they could do the type of testing, which is what he was trying to get through 23andMe, et cetera, where they find somebody who is a relative of whoever's DNA this is. But, the state of Florida was like, we're not going to spend the money for that. So let's see, anything yet? We are waiting for the certified time of death so we can announce it because they did go through with it. So that's what's going on here. Now, Dominic A. Ochoni, which is our 80-year-old who's scheduled at 6 p.m. tonight, that's a whole different bird. Let's see. Let's go back and see if anything has come back up yet. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the screen and see if it shows. Okay. Wow. So yes, they did it. I wonder if they're waiting on the coroner to get there. No, they don't need to do that. Why would they do that? I think they're already there. I think that on the days that they do the executions, I believe that somebody is already there to take the body, etc. I don't think they just lay around and wait. Right. 53 minutes ago. Okay, let's see. 1 hour ago. Yeah, we just need an official time of death so we can announce that. Let's see, live updates 2 hours ago, 2 days ago, 21 hours ago. Let's see what we can find over here. Wow. All right. There's several sources over here. Let's see. Last minute, we know that. That didn't happen. Who is he? We know who he is. He's a child murderer. Can you imagine? Now listen, this sounds pretty terrible of me, and I don't mean to be tacky and terrible, but I always kind of wanted to go and watch one of these, only because I would like to know myself, is it as they described? Is it painless? Is it instantaneous? I mean, what happens to these people? Because they talk about lethal injection being, oh, it's no big deal. But then you hear other people who have went and seen these things and they start describing these things and like, oh no, he was gasping, he was jerking, he was this, he was that. You got to wonder to yourself, when they decided to do lethal injections, who were their test dummies? Who did they test this on before they started doing this to humans? How do they know that it's painless to these people? That's the question I have. And then you hear people talk about, oh, they had old drugs, this, that, the other. I don't know. I just always wanted to know, really, is it exactly as they describe? Because I don't think it is exactly as they describe. I think it's something very different. Because if it is as they describe, it would be so much faster than 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes, right? I thought it was something more like the heart just stops beating almost immediately, is how I understood it. But I guess there's still brain waves even after the heart stops beating for a little bit. Maybe is that what they're doing, is making sure there's no brain waves, like making sure the heart doesn't restart? I don't know. I know that's kind of morbid to talk about, but it is one of the things I always wanted to know. I just wanted to know that. Let's see. Anything else over here? Let's see. 2 hours ago, 57 minutes. I cannot believe we're having to wait this long. This is wild. 1 day, 3 hours, 21 hours. Okay. The Guardian. Let's see. Nothing. There's a timeline. Okay. Let's see if this is right here. Former Lake County police officer Duckett faced, well, we know that. All right, I'm trying to find a time of death. Okay. Oh, wow, here's something strange. Let me just give you a little information. This is a little FYI. Fun fact, in Japan, those on death row don't know their execution date until the day it happens. Should we do that here? That's a great poll question, is it? Should we announce the day they're going to do it, or should we just do it like they do in Japan? I think that if you just did it, then you wouldn't have this problem that we do now. Let's see. Anything? Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to do that. It's always trying to get me to buy a subscription stuff, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh man. Let's see what this one says. No, I don't want to buy our subscription. Okay, it's scheduled, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're just waiting on the official time of death. He is deceased. They did follow through with the execution. We just don't have a verified time of death yet, and that is what we're waiting on. So I guess while we wait, we could be talking about this case instead of just sitting here. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and start talking about it. So, and I still need that key from World's Way, but that's okay. We'll just deal with that later. So we know that he has had many times. This is key facts about James Duckett. Now, let me go back over here. How many times he has had this stay? How many times this case has been stayed? How many times he filed appeals? It was many, many, multiple times. So let me go back over here. Okay. I did a live on him the other day. I'm going to pull that up. And we're going to talk about it that way because that's where all the facts are. What about Brian Kohlberger? Did y'all see that one? Brian Kohlberger over there trying to withdraw his guilty plea and go to a jury trial. Now, here's the thing about that. When he signed his plea agreement, it says you do not have the right, you are not allowed to appeal this. So I don't know where he thinks he can just withdraw, his plea. I don't understand how that works. So let's go on up here and pull this back up. All right. Actually, I'm going to go get my actual live from the other day, and we'll just go over it like that. So let me get some of these things closed over here, and we'll get back on talking about his case because apparently we're not going to have his official time of death yet. So here we go. I'll look one more time over here, but I don't see anything. Wow. Okay. Oh, now look at my computer. It's doing that circling shit. Okay, so let me see time of death and see if anything is over here yet. Don't you start that barking, little girl. Okay, 12 minutes ago. We know that they denied that. Okay. My little dog should start barking. He's such a little asshole. Update. The Bangkok County Coroner's Office, in cooperation with Pocatello Police, has confirmed the identity of a body found in a home. Oh, somebody died. That's something else. It has nothing to do with this case. Sorry about that. It's not the official time. James Duckett. Let's see. 1 hour ago. Okay. 30 minutes ago. 25 minutes ago. Yeah, we don't know. Okay. We're just going to go back over here and we're going to just talk about James Duckett, his life, his murder, all the things that James Duckett did that put him where he is today, and the reason why he is no longer with us, because he has been officially executed. So let's pull up James Duckett's actual appeals. How many times he has appealed this case, and etc. Let's see. You know what else I have? I forgot about this too. I found this thing on my phone. Well, I found it's a community. I don't know. It's like you're listening. It's called Crime Radar. Let me tell y'all about this. It's called Crime Radar, and you put your area, and it actually monitors, and you can hear when the police department go out. You can hear when the I saw that. You saw Crime Radar? Yeah, Crime Radar is pretty interesting because you can hear what's going on in your town. Now, you don't get to hear the complete thing because they start it and then they go to if it's a house fire or whatever it is. I have never really heard a severe, like a murder or something on Crime Radar, but it is a wealth of knowledge, all right? So anyway, we're going to pull him back up. So we're looking at all of his appeals, and I'm going to tell you just how crazy it is with this guy. All right, here we go. All right, let's go. Boy, I'm just upset that I can't get this information. It's so strange. Okay. All right, now. So, and this is this is the number. DNA appeal. This happened. It's 2026-0528. Now, this was in the main docket, and this was for the April 30 opinion. Okay, so that was this year, 2026. Let's go. But they lifted the stay July the 8th and allowed him to go ahead and be executed. Now, let's see. Pull this back up over here, and I'm going to tell you what it says. Oh, come on. Oh, what happened to my little opinion? Let me share the screen with you, and I'll show you this opinion, what they decided here. I don't understand why well, it doesn't even matter. Let's just go look at it. Okay, here we go. Now, this was from July the 1st, 2026. We hereby dismiss appellant's appeal for lack of jurisdiction, section 925.11. Florida statutes and Florida Rule of Criminal Procedures 3.853 do not contemplate the holding of an evidentiary hearing after the results of DNA testing have been provided to the courts, the defendant, and the prosecuting authority, which all parties agree has occurred here. So appellant's request for an evidentiary hearing is not authorized, and the circuit court's order denying that request is not appealable. The state's motion to dismiss is hereby denied and moot. How about that? This is the reason why he did not get another stay is because they did not have the authority to basically just all of a sudden create a way for him to have an evidentiary hearing, because it's not the way the law is written. It's not the way the law works. So here we go. I'm gonna, whoops, sorry guys. Oh, I almost lost my screen. Anyway, let's look at this right here. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's not going to show it. Oh, God. What's wrong with this thing? I need to close some of these. I got too many things open. It's messing me up over here. Here we go. All right. Let me go get my own. I have a whole file on him. Let me get that open and we will take a look at it. Let's see. My documents. Here we go. All right, let me get this open and we will just start talking about him again, get all the way down to the facts and all the times that he's filed his appeals that were dismissed because he did not deserve to get an appeal. And I don't know how he's claiming that he's innocent, after all of this. How can he claim he's innocent? Everybody saw the little girl in the car with him. Other people, there are, I think it was three different girls that said he attempted this with me, or he actually graved me. But I was afraid and didn't say anything because he was a police officer and nobody would believe me. And that's really true. That does happen. Whenever it's a police officer that's involved in something, most of the time the victim is not believed, unless you can prove there's DNA or something to show that it is him, because police officers are looked at differently than we are. Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay, anyway, I have to go get my Word documents. Hang on, it's right here. Okay. Oh, my Lord, here he goes. Let's go. Yeah, I have all of his appeals. I have everything he's done, all of this. So, let's go get him. Let's go get Mr. Duckett. Oops. Come on. You know what else is weird, y'all? What do y'all think about the Casey? Hang on. The Siders family. Okay, let's talk about the Siders family while I find my information over here. I need to go to the case view and pull it up. Yes, I do want that. Yes. Okay, no. Take Orlando. No. Hang on, guys. No, here it is, right here. All right, here we go. All right. Now, get rid of that one. Put this back up over here. What do y'all think about that? Because here's the newest information that came out that I saw on the Siders case while we're just talking for a minute is the fact that when she first got her attorney immediately started setting a narrative. And this is exactly what I thought was going to happen here. That she is a victim. She is a victim. She's not a victim. She knew her children belonged in school. She knew her children were not being fed. She knew her children were living in dirty and filth. She knew it. She is not a victim. So it came out yesterday. I don't remember whose channel it was. I wish I could, so I could refer y'all over there. It talked about the fact that that was all a lie, and that that's exactly what they were doing, was setting up this plan to make her look as if she was a victim so that people would not want her to go to jail. Here's the thing about all of that, though. I don't believe any of them is going to end up in jail, and let me tell you the reason why. I think it's going to be sort of like what I understand happened in the Wells case. well, hey, if you just sign away your rights, we'll go ahead and drop these charges. I believe that's how I remember it. If I am wrong, please somebody, please tell me if I am wrong, because I don't ever want to give wrong information, but I do remember this. And so I'm thinking that, what? No, this is not true. Okay, let me tell you something. This is from somebody named Susan Baker. The execution or murder, they're calling it a murder, of James Duckett in Florida has been postponed as the court. Yes, they have came back. Don't even tell that lie. That is not true. Susan Baker, you're wrong. Come on, man. You need to be telling the truth. That's not true. Wow. Okay. All of his appeals were turned down. Why is somebody putting the wrong information out there? Why did they do that? In the 11th hour, they denied his appeals. See, this is how misinformation gets started. One person will put something like that out there, and everybody will run. The people who are opposed to the death penalty will go start putting that out everywhere. Oh, we have a win, we have a win. But no, that's not even true. We should never spread misinformation in any of these situations. It is not fair to the victims of the situations. And that is something that really drives me crazy. But it happens in every one of these cases. Somebody will get one little piece of information and they start running with it, and then it's all over. Oh, okay. Here's something, live updates. No. Wow. Okay. Here we go. Oh, we were talking about the Siders case. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Why am I having so many problems today? I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, so I don't remember whose channel it was. I wish I could remember. And they came out with this, and of course, we've got these gag orders going on over there, because as long as there's a gag order, the attorneys can't really talk about it. So if the attorneys can't really talk about it, then you're not going to understand that. Guess what? They started a narrative that is not true. And it's for one reason and one reason only. So the person is not, so that the jury would feel sorry for them and that she would be looked at as a victim from day one. That is a smart attorney for doing that. I understand him doing it. I do. But I think that he needs to be honest. But now that there's a gag order, there's nothing we can do about it. So anyway, let me get back to what we're doing. Let's talk about James Duckett. That's who we're talking about. I need to go to Florida. Hang on. I've got to close some of these. There's so many open, I can't even keep up with what I'm doing. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, now, here we go. Make sure my StreamYard is up. Thank God. I was like, no, don't get rid of that. So I need to go to the Florida case view. Okay. I can't believe somebody put that stuff out there. That is just crazy. Right. Florida court records. Here we go. That's not the one. Oh, here we go. We'll put it this way. Let's see. What in the world? Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay. This, after I close down this live, I might just take it down. I just feel so scatterbrained right this minute about it. It's because we don't have the information we need, and I don't understand why we don't have the information we need. Okay, so here's what we have right here. This is actually the case view from the Florida Supreme Court right here. And this is everything you want to know about these cases. All you have to do is go to the Florida Appellate Case Information System. You put in their name and it pulls up the case. And every single thing that's happened in these cases is in a docket entry right here. Now, this is free. Anybody can go get this information. Now, if you have a Pacer account, you can go to Pacer and also get the information, but you're going to pay for that information. And anytime I can save people money on something like this for research, I'm going to tell you about it. So in this type of situation, just go to the state appellate court system and you will be able to find information. It doesn't matter what state it is. So let's notice of delay. That was 7/24. We know that, let's see, what did this docket say? Non-dispositional, I think this is when they denied it right here. I think that's what this document is. Let's make sure. Okay, yes. This was on Friday, July the 24th, and this was Article 1, Section 16B10 of the Florida Constitution provides that all state-level appeals and collateral attacks on any judgment must be complete within 2 years of the date of the appeal in non-capital cases and 5 years from the date of the appeal in capital cases unless a court enters an order with specific findings as to why the delay. Now, pursuant to the administrative procedures and definitions set forth in the Supreme Court of Florida, Administrative Order number A0SC19-76, this case was not completed within the time frame required by Article 1, Section 16B10, because the time frame had already expired by the time the case was filed. Now, this was coming from his attorney, and it was turned in. Let's see. Now, it was served to the attorneys. Okay, so this is his last attempt right here. This is to the Supreme Court as the appellant, and this was filed on Friday, July the 24th. The next thing that happened, let's see, let's go back one more time. Go to this case view, turn that off. So that was like the last ditch effort. The last thing he could possibly do was try to claim that, y'all cheated me, you didn't file it at the right time, there's still something wrong here. See, I mean, they pull out every stop they can to try to stop these things from happening, but it just doesn't work. Some of this should have happened a long time ago. It should have happened a long time ago. Okay, so we're going to go back to the case view now. Let's go all the way back to when, as far back as there are 16 entries on his notice on his appellate system. The thing is, because this happened back in 1987, there's so many things we just don't have about this case. I am so glad to see that all these new cases are being, the trials are being live streamed when they can, because this opens up the door for everybody to see what really goes on. Nothing's hidden. You can hear the testimony, you can watch the people's faces, you can, just like the Lindsay Clancy trial. Now, that's a very interesting trial, and we're going to be live streaming that starting again tomorrow morning. They did not have court today, which was great because it's allowing us to do this. But I don't think any courtroom should be closed off. I think they should all be open unless it is a child. Now, when you have children involved, I can see them not allowing cameras in the court because children, their faces, if they are testifying, in a lot of cases there are children testifying, then they of course don't need their face shown all over the place. They need to be protected. So I can understand that. Now let's go back over to our case view. We're going to go all the way back to now this is an appeal on this happened July the 17th. Let's open this. Let's see, notice of appeal and appeal. Let me see what he appealed on. Now this was filed July the 17th and it was e-filed. Notice of appeal. James Aaron Duckett, by and through the undersigned counsel, takes and enters his appeal to the Supreme Court of Florida for review of orders summarily denying defendants' post-conviction motions entered by the Circuit Court of the 5th Judicial Circuit in Lake County, Florida on July 17, 2026, and any and all rulings or acts adverse to Mr. Duckett in support of said judgment. The nature of the orders appealed include denial of Mr. Duckett's successive motion for post-conviction relief pursuant to Florida Rule of Criminal Procedures 3.851 and the denial of Mr. Duckett's motions for stay of execution, and jurisdiction of the appeals is properly in the Supreme Court of Florida, and this appeal is timely. Okay, there's their certificate of service. Okay, yes, it was entered. I mean, I just don't know what he thought he could do about it. Let's see. There's the death penalty warrant right there. After it was denied, then they signed the letter again. Here's the letter. Let's see what this one is. Let's see what the letter is. Here we go. Acknowledgement of a new case. Now he's trying to get a new case going. Case type, mandatory review, death penalty appeal, 3.851. Successor and death penalty appeal, 3.853 for DNA. They tested the DNA. It was inconclusive. The Florida Supreme Court has received the notice of appeals reflecting a filing date of July 17th of 2026. From this date forward, all documents pertaining to the above consolidated cases should be filed electronically through the Florida Court's e-filing portal using case number SC2026-1083. Be sure to register for your appellate case information system, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So see, he's just, here's another thing. I have a question about this, and I don't know if Mr. Duckett has an appellate court that's paid for by us, or if he has hired his own attorney. I'd like to know that. What time does he get? He's already been executed. Okay, thank you, Chubby Chelsea. Thanks for coming in. We're just kind of talking about this, but he has been executed. They have not given an official time of death, which is what we're waiting on, because we always like to give the official time of death so that everybody knows it really did happen, and what we're putting out are the facts, not just whatever, not just supposes or what somebody else said. I only want to give out the facts in these cases. Yeah, and I wonder if they're waiting until after the 80-year-old to announce, you know what? I never thought about that, Leslie, but I don't know if they would actually do that. That's quite the thought. Thank you, Leslie. I never thought about that. Huh. I thought that they would just let us know after the fact. That is a good question. Thank you. All right. 2 minutes ago, Crystal Brashear. The United States Supreme Court has denied. We know that has been denied, guys. We knew that. It's been denied for both of them. Both of them stay where it's denied. Okay, thanks. I'm happy to. Thank you. I'm so happy to see you, Chubby Chelsea. Thank you for coming in. We always like to see new faces, or if you've been here before and I didn't know it, I'm so glad to see you again today. And I know that this is such a very controversial subject. I know it is, but it's also an important subject, because if we're going to have the death penalty, there needs to be some kind of rules governing when, where, how, and things, what goes on in that death chamber, the timing. Somebody sitting on death row for 40 or 50 years is the most ridiculous situation. We were talking about this a few minutes ago, and that's the fact that every time something happens in these cases, the victims are re-victimized. The family is re-victimized because they're having to relive it every single time it happens. So let's see. What's this? Let's see. That was 11:45. Let's see. Let's see if there's something else here, guys. That was 10 hours. I'm looking for the latest information on his time of death. Leslie, I'm so glad you brought that up. I never thought about that being an issue. But, well, because we never see two people being put to death in the same day, right? That's just not normal. We just don't see that. Of course, this guy goes now. Chris Hager goes. Of course, James Duckett appealed to the 11th Circuit, and of course, it was denied in the U.S. Supreme Court. There's no waiting. It's over. So now there is somebody 15 minutes ago, somebody named Susan Baker says the execution or murder of James Duckett, Florida has been postponed, but I do not see that anywhere, because everything that he could have filed has been filed and denied. So I don't understand if then somebody named Don Sullivan. Okay, wait a minute. Something just popped up here. Dan Sullivan. It is noon. He still has multiple. No, he doesn't have any appeals. And this other guy says, is there something pending? Are they delaying this execution? No. Let's see. And then the Sarasota 51. Okay, KTAU News. This is 51 minutes ago, and it says Florida will carry them out. So he was denied. 1 hour ago from the Catholic Mobilizing Network, they say the hour of James Duckett's execution has arrived. Mary, Mother, to whom God entrusted the undoing of the knots in the lives of his children, we entrust James into your hands. Hear our prayer. Okay. 33 minutes ago, somebody named Kelly Richmond says, Supreme Court lets rare double. We know that. I'm just waiting for a time. Let's see. 4 hours ago, 41 minutes ago. See my Twitter. It's an outrage. It's an outrage, Governor. You must take they did do the DNA testing. It was conclusive. God, how many times y'all got to be told? And I understand the gripe. I do. All 3 petitions, they are not pending. They're not pending, guys. They've already been denied. Let's see. 3 hours ago. This is from the radio. That was yesterday. Yesterday. Let's see. No, nothing yet. Okay, we're going to continue to talk about Mr. Duckett anyway. Oh boy, I thought I was going to see something here, but nothing popped up. Okay, all right, y'all leave me alone. Anyway, let's keep going. Mr. Oconee. All right, we'll come back over here. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked because I'm just, what's upsetting is the fact that, okay, well, we know everything was, let's look on, Florida is performing 2 yeah, we know that. Let's pull this. We're going to pull up this news story right here. Who is James Duckett? Let's go ahead and we'll talk about him for a minute. I'm going to share the screen so y'all can see what we're looking at. Let's share the screen. All right. This is crazy. This whole day has been crazy. I really thought we would know by now. I never thought it would take this long for this information to come out. We usually know within 30 minutes what happened. Yeah, it's 100% agreed. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Chubby. Well, see, if you weren't here in the beginning of our live, which was kind of comical, and anyway, Mr. Attorney is 80 years old, and they're going to execute him tonight at 6 p.m. And so if you don't know, it's not that I'm opposed to the death penalty, because that's not it at all. I'm opposed to re-victimizing these victims because they take so long to do it. When the defendant outlives the victim's family, then what? Then you decide to go take his life? What the hell is that about? How is that doing the right thing? How is that? One of the things that also happens in these cases, now this is a weird situation, but it is a true situation. Prior to 2017, there was a rule in Florida that if the judge wanted to, listen, his sole discretion, if it was voted that they were going to give the person life in prison instead of the death penalty, the judge could say, I'm overriding and I'm giving you the death sentence. Now, that practice stopped in 2017. But guess what they did not do? They did not go back and look at the cases that weren't done. There's only a few of them, but they did not go back and look at them and say, okay, listen, what did the jury sentence them to? Let's commute it to what the jury sentenced them to instead of what the judge wanted them to have. Now, there was only like 3 states that ever had the opportunity for the judge to override the jury of your peers. How is that fair? Because we've always been told you have the right to a fair trial by a jury of your peers. The judge is not the jury. You've asked for a trial by jury. The jury makes the decision. So when the judge has overrode the jury's decision, that is ridiculous. And I don't understand that at all. And that should not have ever been allowed in any case that was where the judge went back and changed the rule. That needs to be relooked at. Every one of those cases need to be relooked at. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. So wait a minute, Style Magazine. Let's see. Style Magazine, James Duckett scheduled for pay, U.S. Supreme Court after exhausting his appeals. We know, come on. Chris Hager 1 hour ago. We know that was denied. I'm seeing if anything else popped up because my phone is going crazy over here. 20 minutes ago. And we still see this person named Susan Baker. She's still trying to tell us that it did not happen. But we know it did happen. We know it did. 10 minutes ago. Denied. Let's see. Okay, Susan Baker now says, Florida denied James Duckett's appeal. Hard to keep the 2 biggest killings of this. Okay, maybe a Tony has another one. Maybe he won't be killed. Oh, maybe. Maybe he will get to actually be commuted. Okay, so now Susan Baker has corrected herself, and no, they did not stop it. It actually happened. He was put to death. We are waiting on an official time that has not been announced yet. So there we go. That is the facts in this case. Now, let's go ahead and look at this. We were looking at who is James Duckett. Now, look at this picture. See this? Oh, you don't. Let me share my screen. I was sharing the screen. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My phone is going crazy, and I'm noticing it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh, am I getting an update? Am I getting an update? Anyway, look at that little girl. This was an 11-year-old little girl. What did she ever do to deserve to be killed by this monster? What? I don't understand it at all. I just don't. And how is he still, till this day, still trying to claim that he didn't do it? When she was seen getting into his car. She was found someplace that she could not walk to. Okay, who is James Duckett? Here's the key facts. He was intended to be the 3rd person put to death. Oh, wait a minute. James Duckett was intended to be the 3rd person put to death in Florida this year. After a stay of inclusive DNA testing, he's scheduled to become the 11th at noon. You know that. Now, he was a police officer. He is 68 years old, and we know he was charged with sexual battery, kidnap, and murder of an 11-year-old Teresa McAbee. After prosecutors said he abducted her from the convenience store where she had gone to buy a pencil. This little girl goes to the convenience store to get a pencil, and she never comes home. That's the fact. Guess what? The pencil was found thrown out. Yeah, the pencil was found. She did buy the pencil. Days before his scheduled execution in March, okay, wait a minute, I skipped a spot. Hello. She'd gone to buy her pencil. He strangled, drowned the body. Her strangled and drowned body was found in a lake the next day, and Duckett has maintained his innocence for 40 years. Days before his scheduled execution in March, the Florida Supreme Court issued his stay for this DNA testing that they've been fighting about this whole time. He awaits notice. We already know what he's been denied. Now, this says Duckett and Choney. Let's see. Is there anything else? Let's see if there's anything we don't know right here in this. I really want to get to this. Okay, hang on a minute. I'm going to go find that damn appeal. I know I have it. Okay. Okay, hang on a minute, because that's where all the facts are, where he's trying to say he's innocent. And there, no. Florida appeal. James Duckett. I think it was like 1989 or 1988. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, it was 1990s. Let's see if we can find this appeal, if we can go ahead and read it. I know I had it the other day. Okay, so that's, let's see. Here we go. I think this is it right here. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is 34 pages. Let me see what day this one was filed. I think this is it. Stop, stop, stop. Don't do that. What is my thing doing? All right, let's go back up here. I don't think that's the original. Hang on a minute. No, this is from April 30th. I want the original from I think it's 1990, maybe. Justa, here we go. This is another place. Another place you can always get documents it's called Justa. And they have a lot of the older documents too for these cases, for these really old cases. So let's see, there's Justa. Yep. Nope, that's not the right one. Let's see. There's the green light. Oh, is it right here? No, hang on a minute. All right. Oh, God, I know I had that. I just got it the other day. I just pulled that. Y'all know when I did my live the other day, we read parts of that document. So I don't know why the hell I can't find it now. Let me get rid of these. Too many things are open. It's going to confuse me. Oh, I feel so, I don't know. Okay, so it was 19. Okay, here we go. We'll pull it up this way. Damn. Let's see if I can find it. I'm still upset though. Why can't I find this information? It's like all of a sudden everything's just hidden. Why? That makes no sense. Right? Okay. All right, just a minute. Okay, my phone's blowing up again. Hang on. Wow. Okay, maybe we're gonna have it now. Let's see. Whoops. My phone keeps wanting to correct his name instead of Duckett. He wants to keep correcting it. Are you kidding me? Okay, all right. No, y'all are not giving me anything new. Yes, I'm getting information, but it's not the latest, and I don't want to. Yeah, no, we're not going to use that anyway. Okay, here we go. So in 1990, here we go. It's not the right one. Is this the oldest one? No, that's not the right one. Okay, hang on. Back in 1990, he filed an appeal to the Florida Supreme Court. Okay. Hang on. I mean, God dang it, this is getting me so upset. I don't know why I'm getting so upset about this, but I guess because I just feel like, wait a minute, something is so wrong here. James Duckett's 1990 document. Let me get this document again, because I had it before. Okay. Sometimes I have to just go through and take stuff off my computer because it gets so full because it's just not really big enough to hold all this. Okay, so back in 1990, the Florida Supreme Court appeal document for James Aaron Duckett. Okay, here's the original direct appeal where the court affirmed his conviction. So way back in 1990, this is the fact here. Let's see, how many appeals do they get? I thought this is from Leslie. She goes, how many appeals do they get? I thought there was like a fixed amount. Well, you know what? As soon as you are given your death penalty, you get an automatic appeal. That's the first one. And then that one usually does not, it usually gets affirmed, does not get to, so they have the death penalty. Then they move up to the next level of court. And then there's all kinds of different motions they can file. So like this guy has had 5 post-conviction motions trying to get a stay of it, or trying to get his death row or his death sentence commuted. So there are so many different things they can file a motion on. But technically, in this case, when this appeal was affirmed, I mean, when this appeal was filed in 1990 and it was affirmed, that right then was technically the end of this case. That's where it should have stopped right then. It should have never went this far. So that's the first thing that went wrong here. Basically, that's the first thing that went wrong. Then in 2005, he starts on this DNA testing. So let me pull this up over here. Here we go. He starts on the DNA testing back in 2005. That is how long he has had the ability to have this testing. He's known since 2005 he could file this and get the DNA testing. But he kept telling his attorney, no, I'm going to wait. No, I'm going to wait because there's going to be better processes later. And so he just kept waiting. So in 2026, this was his fifth successive post-conviction motion and DNA testing appeals. 2005, the post-conviction DNA testing consideration. The Florida Supreme Court acknowledged that certain evidence might be testable for DNA, leading to a later motion. However, he declined to file the motion then. At that point, he's like, no, I'm going to keep waiting because he is smart and he knew as long as he postponed this, as long as he could, that he would not be put to death. He knew that, and so that's exactly what he was doing. And so let me see if we can find this other thing. I really want to find, let's find the brief on it because I'm going to tell you that's where the information is right there. Here. Brief from the courts. James Duckett. Okay, 2005. There we go. Okay, here's right here. This is from December 22nd, 2005. Now, let's see. March the 7th, where it is. I want the actual document, not that. So I think I can get it right here. Okay, James Duckett. Hang on, I'm on the right court document now. All right, guys, we can pull it from right here. All right. When they started talking about retesting this, and that was one of the reasons why the Supreme Court justices were very upset with Mr. Duckett because they had had the opportunity to test this over and over, and he kept saying no. He would not let them test it over and over. He's tried to get it. They wanted him to test this. So here we go. Just James England, James Earl, James. Come on. Okay. Here. Come on. Damn it. Go. I wish that we could find his oral arguments, but they're not here, so we can't. Okay, James Duckett's appeals, 1 of 72 case documents. Here we go. All right, here. Duckett search. Okay, there we go. We're going to look for his 2005. Here we go. Okay, search. Why is it? Okay, here we go. There we go. Yes, it is what I want right there. 41 items. 41 different items have been filed over here. This guy has tried every way in the world to not get the death to not be put to death every way he can, every single type of motion he can. He has filed. Opinions of the court. Here we go. This is what we want right over here. Okay. This, oh, let's see earlier. Yeah, it's 2005. Okay, I gotta go find this from 2005. It's way back in the back over here, but that's okay. I mean, I don't mind looking for information because I really want to bring all the information I can about this. So let's see, that's 2010. Uh-oh, wait a minute. That's the U.S. Supreme Court. All right. Case documents, docket search, orders of the court, orders by circuit, granted no, okay, orders of the court. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's see, that's 2010, 2011. Okay. Boy, all right, this is gonna, that's okay. I don't mind. It's all right. 2000, okay, let's go further back. Well, I don't know why is it like all of this stuff is just not findable today? What the hell happened? We just had all of this the other day. No, it's not. See, it's trying. Here we go. There we go. Let's see. I'm about to just give up, and I don't want to because I want the information. Search. Come on. I don't have his actual case number from way back then. So James Duckett. Okay, that's 728. That is, it's like I don't know what happened to it. It's okay. Well, I guess I might have to just pull up my other live from the other day because I can't find it. Reports of James Duckett had no last word. Oh, wait a minute. Where did you find that? Because I couldn't find it anywhere. Show me. Okay. James Duckett has, yeah, we knew on Twitter, they finally put it out. This is exactly what I was waiting for. Let's see. Make sure I can find this. Thank you so much because I was not able to find it. I was like, what the hell? I kept seeing 1 hour, 2 hours, but not the actual time of death. Thank you so much. I mean, I knew they were going to do it, but here we go. I wanted the official time of death. Hang on, let's pull it up. Thank you so much, though. Oh, God damn it. I'm about to start cussing. Sorry, guys. Okay, breaking 1 minute ago. Okay, it just came up. Thank you. This is from somebody named Crystal Bradshaw. Former Saudi police officer James Aaron Duckett has been executed in Florida State Prison in Relford. Duckett was put to death for the 1987 kidnapping, rape, and murder of 11-year-old Teresa McCabe. His official time of death, this is official, is 1:19. Thank you so much. Oh, Tampa Bay Times, thank you so much. Okay, so 1:19 is his official time of death. We're going to put this out there. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me know about that, Takeo, because now I'm going to watch for that tonight when they do the other guy. If they do it, I've heard and seen some things about they may not do Mr. Choni. He might get a last minute reprieve now, and I hope he does. I mean, really, he is an old man. What is the point of this, right? I don't know. Okay. 1:19. Official time of death is 1:19 p.m. All right. Oh, and of course, guess what else is going to happen today, guys? Of course, my little shift key is not going to work properly. It's acting up again today. There's something wrong with this laptop. Every time I turn around, like one day the shift key will work and one day it won't. I don't know what's happening to it, but there's something wrong. This is the little girl that he took the life of back. This is her. And I'm so glad it's over and her family can finally, have peace in there because they don't have to be re-victimized every time this guy decides to file another piece of bullshit appeal process to try to get himself off of death row. Really, I'm so glad it's over. Thank you so much for letting me know, and let me save this Tampa Bay Times so I can make sure I can go pull it up instead of waiting on something else. Let me put this in my little save. Hang on. All right, just a second. Thank you. So, Tampa Bay Times. Okay, got it. Thank you. So that's just basically it. We've been on an hour. Oh, we almost 2 hours for us to find out that at 1:19. Now let me ask y'all something. If they started this process, he was supposed to be put to death at what time? 12 noon, right? But we get the announcement that he's actually put to death at 1:19 p.m. What took them so long to get us the information? Did they have a struggle trying to insert the needle, etc.? I'm wondering about that. Florida has executed James Duckett. 119. Anything else over here worth talking about on Twitter? So I'm going to go over to Tampa Bay or Tampa Times. Thank you so much. All right. So at this point, his case is basically over. The nightmare is over for the family. The nightmare is over for him because I'm pretty sure sitting on death row for 40 years was not very much fun. You know, think about that. It should not be fun. It is called prison for a reason. It is a punishment, period. Okay, thank you. I'm going to follow them so I'll have the information. I really do appreciate that so much. And yes, they did announce it 7 minutes ago. It was announced on the Tampa Bay Times. Thank you guys so much, so much. Okay, so that is officially it. Time of death is 1:19 p.m. His life is over. The hell is over. James Duckett is no more. I really hope that this little girl and her family can now, I hope she's resting in peace and her family does never have to hear about him again. I hope there's not a bunch of BS in the papers about why he was there for 40 years, etc. We know that they should not have to be there that long. That's not new. We all know that there's something wrong with that, but it is officially over, thank God. So let me get rid of this over here. Okay. All right, guys. Why am I seeing that? Oh, there we go. There. All right. So here we are, 1:19 p.m. So anybody, listen, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate your patience with me. I am trying to set this up where we are going to start trying to, if all things work correctly, live stream through worldswave.com. Now, worldswave.com is the official sponsor for this channel. Worldswave.com is a platform where you are not censored. So anybody that has a YouTube, TikTok, whatever type of channel that you have, please go check out worldswave.com. You will be able to use any wording you want. You can talk about any subject you want, as long as it's legal. I mean, legal subjects. And you're not getting penalized, okay? And you are immediately able to be paid. You don't have to collect watch hours, etc. You set your own pace. You set how much money you want to make by how long you go live, all those things. It is just a better platform than YouTube. It's a better platform than TikTok because it's not a bunch of ads. They're not filling you with a bunch of ads. It's real people doing their live shows, not being interrupted with a bunch of ads and garbage. And you do not have to have 3,000 or 4,000 watch hours in order to be monetized over on World's Way, which is a beautiful thing. Because if you do, we're going to talk about this for just a minute and then I'm going to let y'all go. But I really do appreciate everybody and their patience today. World's Way is just, it's an opportunity because you can get in on the ground floor right now. They're relatively young. I'm going to tell you a little information about World's Wave. Yeah. Hey, Couponing. It's okay if you're late. Good to see you. Yeah, we had a little bit of a struggle over here. I mean, we actually went through StreamYard instead of World's Wave, but we're going to talk about it. Hey, I'm so happy to see Couponing. She's so sweet. Listen, y'all, everybody say hello to Couponing. I love her. Oh, and an announcement, another announcement. Our good friend and our co-host, Sprinkle Donut, started her new job today. I'm so excited for her. That's something she needed and she needed to do. So everybody, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate her. We love her. But now, World's Wave. Let me tell you what it is. World's Wave is kind of it's a young YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, Tony, he's going to be, no. Tony's going to happen at 6 p.m. tonight, and we're going to come back on at 4:30 Texas time, which is Central Standard Time, to be there for Dominic Oconee. Now, I've heard that Oconee might not happen now, but I know all of his appeals have been exhausted. I know that he's in the same position that Mr. Duckett was in as far as filing appeals, etc. So that at 6 o'clock, and if they did it to the 74-year-old, to Mr. Socher, and they did it to the other guy, I know they're going to do it. They're going to follow through. Unless for some reason somebody decides, look, he's too old and feeble. There's no way we can do this, right? We don't know, right? Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. Listen, Chubby, it's okay. I love talking to my the people in chat. I love it. Let me tell you, Chubby, let me tell you this. When I first started on got my little channel over here, I thought this is what was in my head. Oh, we just get on here and we just talk to our friends that we've made in other people's channels through chat, right? We just get on here and we just talk about things. It's just fun. We're just gonna have a good time, conversing, talking about whatever you want to talk about. But then I realized soon, that's not really how it works, right? So that was kind of eye opening. That's when I decided, this is real work. So then I took this and I said, okay, what kind of channel do we want to have over here? And I decided, okay, let's do a little true crime, a little bit of some other things. Now, when I first started, because I had misinformation and I didn't really know what I was doing, I made mistakes. I'll be honest about that. I made some bad mistakes. I put myself in situations I should not have been in because really I didn't know any better because I didn't really listen. I'm going to be 66 years old September the 9th. And, I live in a really sheltered little world here. I'm a stay home mom. Anyway, blah, blah. But I did not understand a lot of things about how YouTube worked, how the genre worked, how these people intertwine with each other. I learned a hard lesson. I will tell you, I learned a very hard lesson. But I was very upset about it at first. But then I decided, you know what? It's okay. Because had I not learned the lesson way back in the beginning, I would have to learn it at some point, and I don't want it to be now. Now that we've got our channel established, and Dominic and Tony's appeals at Scottus has already been denied by justice. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, so yes, at 6 p.m. tonight, they are actually going to do Oconee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh boy. Well, okay. I'm going to call that another one. This is Mr. Oconee is a nursing home execution. Now, it's not that I'm against execution. I'm just against it 40, 50 years later. That's what I'm against here. But we'll go back to where we start. Thank you so much for your information. I always appreciate when you'll be back. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Chubby. I just like to we'll go back and just talk about this for a second, then I'm gonna let you go. But anyway, the mistakes I had made in the beginning will never happen again. So then I decided I'm never going to cover missing children again. I'm not going to talk about certain things because I don't belong in that realm. So what I like to talk about are appeals, executions, just the court system itself. And that's kind of what I talk about, and other things that are going on. Like sometimes I'll talk about current cases, but I'm never going to talk about. I support people who talk about missing children and the likes of that, but I'm not going to do it myself. I'm staying away from that. That's not my forte. I'm going to let other people cover that. So that's why I was kind of telling you where I came from and how I started and what happened. But anyway, that is what this channel is really about. But I appreciate everybody that comes in and stays with me and talks with me and comes back and watches comes back on replay. And Cinderella and Leslie keeping it real can tell you a lot of times it's more like it should be a podcast where you just listen, because what I'm doing is I'm reading these appeals and I'm talking about things that it doesn't really have videos that go with it. There's not a lot to watch unless we're watching an oral argument, basically, or unless I'm talking about like the Siders case. I do talk about that case because in the Siders case, what I'm upset about is everybody claiming she's a victim. She's not a victim. She knew her children were dirty. She knew her children were hungry. Did you look at Mr. Siders Jr.? He's fat. He's eating. What the hell? What were they doing? Why were the kids not eating? Right? Something's very wrong over there. Anyway, so that's what this channel's really. If you're new to this channel, that's what it's really all about. I'm always happy to see new faces. I am not monetized. We are actually working on our watch hours right now. That's another mistake I made over here on this channel. I did not realize what it took to be monetized. I had no idea. I thought that you just jumped on, and all your friends came in, and you talked about things, and you just sat there for however many long hours you wanted to sit there. That's not really how it works, That's just not how it works. What you need to do is have people like, share, and subscribe to your channel. That's the first thing you need to do. And you need to ask people to please watch if you're on replay, or listen to the replay in its entirety. That is how you gain watch hours. it is not necessarily how many videos you have, it's how many people watch the entire show, or at least half the show anyway, to gain some watch hours. So, yes, through all the mistakes, I've learned a lot, and now going forward, I know exactly what to do now, and it really changed how I felt about my channel, and it made me realize that I needed to respect my channel and my people. I have to, because if you don't, you're not going to make it. And I never want to intentionally hurt anybody. Never. That's just not what I want to do. Anyway, so with all of that said, we'll be back at 4:30 Central Standard Time, which is Texas time. I hope to see everybody there. And thank you so much for Tycho. I know I'm saying this wrong. I'm so sorry. I know I'm saying it wrong. And hopefully we'll be able to run it through World's Wave tonight. And we will talk about World's Wave later. But it is a great new platform. And the one little secret about the platform, I'm going to let you know. One of the people involved in this platform is 15 years old. Yeah, you're still learning, right? Coupon, and you're still learning. I know Coupon and Cinderella, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. I know they do. And I just feel so bad about what happened with. I didn't know. I did not know people. I didn't know. I'm just going to leave it at that and we'll move on. But one of the people involved in World's Wave is 15 years old. This is a very, very intelligent person. And my son, my older son, I had 3 kids, one passed away, y'all. The people in my channel know that, but I had the one that passed away. But my other son, he's my older son. He and his friends got together and said, I just hate YouTube. They censor everybody. What the hell? They just didn't like it. And they said, what can we do? And they decided, well, we just make our own platform. And they did it. And it's called worldswave.com. Yes. Go check it out, guys. Go check it out. Anyway, we will see y'all at 4:30 this afternoon. I love all of you. You know that. I always appreciate seeing new faces. Please, when you're coming in or out, hit that thumbs up for me, and like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna have to say that again. I don't like begging for watch hours, etc. I just have to let people know that that's how YouTube actually works. It's not what I thought it was. It's probably not even what other people think it is. But with that, I'm going to say, see you later. We'll see you at 4:30 this afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Bye. Bye-bye now. I'm about to